UFC's finally back, so we care and don't cuss. And the card's pretty stacked like a nut is gonna bust. That's kind of sus, but this card gonna end all the fuss. Drop the price on these niggas like it's Paramount Plus. Yeah, baby, yeah. Woo, let's go, man. UFC 324, Gaethje and Pimblett's upon us. And I smell some fraud check a little bit, and maybe some exciting fights. I also smell some bad placements of fights on the card. Like as we score, you're gonna see a woman's fight, and I'm gonna keep scoring. You're gonna see a Umar fight, but that's on the prelims. We got some things to complain about, and we got some things to talk about. Starting with the first fight of the night, chat. UFC so back. It feels good, eh? It feels good to even record a video like this. It's been a little bit, It's been a little bit. We got Adam Fugitt, Fugitt, brother. Get in there and just say fuck it and fight, and that's kind of how he does, bro. Sometimes he goes in there, he's a lamb to the slaughter. And this time, I feel like they're trying to make him a lamb to the slaughter. He's going against Ty Miller, who had a pretty good unanimous decision win, I believe it was, on Dana White Contender Series. He's a pretty good striker. He has good height for a welterweight division. This is probably going to be a primary striking match. I think Ty Miller is going to try to go in there and put it on Fugitt and try to finish him and just say Fugitt. But it'll be interesting to see if Adam tries to just wrestle him maybe and just slow him down. But Ty Miller seemed like a pretty intelligent striker from what I saw on Dana White Contender Series, so I think he should go in there and put him beats on him, Dr. Dre, hands on him, lots of bass. So I'm going to go the undefeated 6-0 Ty Miller, dude. Like, dude, if you don't know who he is, you're fucking casual, dude. Fuck it, family. Like, dude, the fuck it family ain't getting no wins, dude. What a name, Every time I like predict the Fugitt fight, like I just got to make a meme out that name. That name is just crazy to me. But yeah, Fugitt with a 10-5 record is going to go 10-6 after this or next week on Saturday. Moving on from that fight, we got Ricky Turcios versus Cameron Smotherman. These two have just been losing. From what I remember, these guys are just riding crazy losing streaks. Like 2 or 3 losses, Ricky's more like what you... Like, I feel like Ricky doesn't have any, like, good wins. And I feel like, as well, like, he loses to people who aren't that good as well. Cameron Smotherman loses too, but I feel like he's losing to better competition. This one's going to be interesting, though, because Cameron Smotherman mostly just loses to people who go in there and grapple with him. Ricky Turcios is not really a great wrestler or grappler, from what I remember. Like, he'll get taken down a lot, if anything. I barely see him be the hammer and take people down. So it's going to be interesting, because I think it's going to be a primary striking fight, which should favor Cameron Smotherman for the most part. So I think I'm going to actually lean Cameron Smotherman in this one, just because I feel like if it's going to be the fight I think it's going to be primary striking on the feet, I just feel like that would favor Cameron Smotherman, who I feel like picks his shots pretty well. Ricky's there to be hit and there to do some damage. It probably will be a competitive fight, but Cameron Smotherman's his biggest detriment has been this dude doesn't know how to stop takedowns. But Ricky doesn't seem like he's going to go for many. If Ricky just turns into a grappler, he'll beat Cameron off of just holding him there. But Cameron Smotherman, surely he's improved that as well. Like, surely, brother. Because this guy, like, before he's supposed to be, like, one of the better people when he first got introduced in the UFC, and then he just kept getting taken down and just humped. So let's see that. Let's see if he can finally get a win. I do think Cameron Smotherman gets it done in this one. So I'm going to go Cameron Smotherman by KO points. First fight, Ty Miller by KO points as well. All right, third fight. Now, this one is interesting. Now, this Josh Hokit guy is just like... He has his whole gimmick going, and like it's working, dude. He's getting eyes on his fights. He's 7-0. He's going against Denzel Freeman, also like a big slugger. Josh Hokit's gonna probably come in and drop some racist shit on Denzel, like, and then probably I think Josh is gonna beat him too, which kind of is annoying to me. But I do think Josh Hokit's probably gonna beat up Denzel Freeman. He looked good in his last fight. Like, that knockout victory looked good. Then he went on the mic and just continued his little bit cringe gimmick. Yeah, and the fact that Denzel's a black man, Josh can't wait to get his hands on him, eh? Bye, brother. This might be an L for Freeman, brother. Maybe Denzel Washington have better chance. Freeman's not bad from what I've seen. He has heavy hands. I just don't think he's gonna be as quick as Josh. And then Josh has that wrestling background, man. So it's gonna be a tough one. I just think it's too much moving parts for Denzel Freeman to overcome. I actually do think Josh Hokit is pretty good for the heavyweight weight class. Like 6'1", he's in good shape. He has that wrestling base that a lot of heavyweights seem to lack, And unlike Jailton Almeida, Jailton, I used to love him, but like Jailton Almeida is like, he needs to be more confident in his strikes. And I feel like Josh Hokit is a confident fighter in his striking as well. because he has that power behind him. He has a corny gimmick, but he's actually pretty good. So I think Josh Hokit gets it done. He might even finish Denzel Freeman, but if not, it's going to be Hosh kick by wrestling points. Maybe takes him down and maybe ground and pounds and finishes. Freeman's a big dude, but he'll gas out. He's like 265. Like he's on that. He's at the same height, but he has some weight on him. But all those big muscles, they could punch himself out, especially against a wrestler. I think Josh actually going to be more inclined to wrestling here. I think we might see more wrestling from Josh Hokit and maybe finishes him by ground and pound. So I'm going to go Josh Hokit regardless. I think he gets it done against Denzel Freeman. Next up, Michael Johnson, coin toss Johnson. He's not beating the coin toss Johnson allegations with that record too. Like 25-19, brother, who this guy? Versus Alexander Hernandez, who's actually been looking like a new form of himself. He's been a lot more, let me circle and find my shots and stick and move. And he mixes it up when appropriate. This one's an interesting one, though, because I think stylistically it'll be interesting. Because I have seen Hernandez get overwhelmed by volume strikes, but Hernandez does hit hard. And, like, MJ's chin, MJ's chin's like, it's hard to gauge MJ's chin. Because, like, sometimes he hits you and you're out, and sometimes not. I can see Hernandez doing a lot of circling. I think MJ does a lot of chasing, maybe low kicks, maybe body kicks, maybe tries to exchange some hands. I just think MJ's striking is objectively better. I know he's older, but I just think his striking is better. Maybe Hernandez wrestles more than I would anticipate, maybe. But like if it's a primary striking match, I can see Hernandez getting outstruck. Hernandez can knock out Michael Johnson. It comes down to if Hernandez can catch Johnson. But I can honestly see Johnson beating him. I think Johnson's probably the underdog here. It's not available on the UFC website, but I wouldn't be surprised if Johnson's a pretty sizable underdog, but I do think he could pull off an upset. Hernandez is coming into his own. He's looking better. The way he's been circling, though, let me think about this, actually. He's been, like, finding his shots. He doesn't rush in as much. He's a lot more patient, and I feel like it's been suiting him well. MJ's still MJ. MJ sits in the pocket. His hands are still wicked quick. Like, MJ's still going to be MJ, man. It's just hard to gauge fully, man, but I do think I'm going to lean. My gut told me Johnson, man. I don't want to switch up my gut. I'm just going to follow my gut and say Johnson for the upset. He's probably an underdog here, but I do think Johnson might get the... See, I want to go 100%. So what if this is the fight where I fuck it up, dude, eh? Bye. Fuck, give me Johnson, though. There's something about it, man. There's something about Johnson. I feel like he just gets it done. So I'm going to go Johnson. I'm going to move on before I change my mind. Hernandez has been looking good, but I think the underdog gets it done. Next, we got Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson. Damn, I was just glazing a Johnson. I'm going to glaze another one. Hey, pause, by the way. Not that type of Johnson. Charles Johnson's always going to be like, that guy who beat Joshua Van. But, like, his striking style is so unorthodox. And Johnson, like, he's actually a really good fighter, guys. Like, he's very well-rounded. His striking is just unique. Like, he has off-timing striking. I think that's, like, the new meta for some of these, like, to catch some of these flyweights. Like, Manil Cap has it, too. It's like they don't do predictable striking combos. They have great footwork, and they're, like, awkward with it, and they use their range really well. I think Johnson's the perfect style for that. Alex Perez is always going to be game. He's always going to be in there and go hard against anyone he goes against. Alex Perez has probably been in there with like some of the best fighters in his weight class. But I think Johnson's going to be too much. I got Johnson, guy, just from being a better striker objectively. I wouldn't be surprised if Perez tries to wrestle. I just don't think his wrestling is going to be enough to hold down and just keep Johnson down there. I think Johnson feels more confident in himself, especially knowing that he has a win over now a champion, because at the time Van wasn't a champion. I feel like there's a confidence that comes with that, dude. I think he's gonna put it on Perez, dude. Perez's game looks like look at his face, dude. He looks like, yeah, dude, fuck yeah. Like, fuck yeah, man. But I think he gets done up by Johnson. Give me Charles Johnson, CJ, for this one. And shout out Charles Johnson. That's my boy, like we're a little bit maybe mutuals on Instagram. We're like best friends. I don't know. Maybe this is what it is. All right, off of the early prelims, we're in the prelims now. We got Nikita Krylov and Bukauskas. Tom-ass most training partner, man. Bukauskas actually not too bad. He's not too shabby, is he? And then Krylov is like looking so shit. He's like getting chin in his last couple of fights. Since he came back from that long layoff, he's been losing. But what if I tell you guys he's just fighting like an idiot and getting caught, and I don't see him doing it against Bukauskas? I don't think Bukauskas is going to beat him. I think Krylov's going to finally come into his own. Krylov's actually really good. It's actually a shame that he came back and started rushing shit and just putting himself in stupid situations, because he's losing to people he's better than, in my opinion. And Bukauskas is riding better momentum than him, of course, right now, because he hasn't been losing his last couple fights so consistently. But I do think Krylov's just a really tough fight for him. I think Krylov needs to be a little bit more patient in this one. He could outpoint Bukauskas. I think Bukauskas is a little bit overrated in the striking. And then I think over time, Krylov should get confident in his pressure and then start to unload. Sometimes he does it too prematurely and gets caught in the process, but I think if Krylov like takes his time, picks his shots, he should get in there and beat Bukauskas. So I'm going to go Nikita Krylov for this one. I don't know what the odds are. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a dog because, what he's been showing us recently. Look, just rushing shit. But he should beat Bukauskas. Bukauskas, I think that hype train is derailed. Moving on from this fight. We got Gautier, Gautier versus Andre Pulyaev. Now, most people will be like, oh, he's a Russian dude. He's going to wrestle. Pulyev's not, he's not fond of wrestling from what I've seen in his footage. He's not going to shoot much takedowns. Even Gautier has more average takedowns attempted. Gautier having 100% takedown actually is a little bit absurd. I don't even remember who he shot against, but Gautier, that's my dog, bro. That's my dog, dude. Brother, he's like just like me, bro. 6'4", but Nigerian, not Nigerian, 6'4", West African, and strong, maybe a little bit handsome. I don't know, depends. Gautier should go down there and beats on him Dr. Dre. Like, when I say beats on him Dr. Dre, he should do that. Pulyev's going to be fond of striking. He's going to be inclined to going in there and trading. Okay, he's probably not going to trade, but usually in his fights, he kind of likes to trade, use his length and his movement. He's a 6'4", middleweight that's pretty big. If it wasn't Gautier, he usually has a size advantage over most of these guys. It's just Gautier having an 81-inch reach, dude. Is the absurd part. Like, damn near a Jones reach. Like, this guy's just abnormally long and, like, he's built and, like, he's tall. He's just like a machine, dude. He hits like a truck. I think it'll be a matter of time before Pulyaev gets caught, but I do think Pulyaev can show him some things on the feet. I just don't think enough things on the feet to get that win, so I'm going to go Gautier. I do think Pulyev's not going to run away. Gautier's last opponent was just running from him. I don't think Pulyev's going to do that. You never know, though, because it's, like, different when you get in there with him, but Gautier by knockout is my pick. It might be like a second round knockout. Maybe Pulyaev survives the first. We'll see. Maybe. He might survive the first or just get chinned in the first fucking 40 seconds. But it just depends how willing Pulyaev is to fight. If he runs, maybe he sees the second round. All right, moving on. How is it on the prelims? How is it on the prelims? This is a woman's fight. And it's a Namajunas woman's fight that's ahead of this, by the way, on the main card. Do you guys know what? Let me not even get to Namajunas in her 5-round master classes that are always so fun to watch. But, yeah, disrespecting Umar with the placement, And I know why the UFC did it, guys. It's because they don't want to give Umar enough shine. Of course, Umar has only lost in the UFC is against a champion, Merab Dvalishvili. Since then, he beat Mario Batista, who had the longest win streak in the bantamweight weight class. And you guys are forgetting, before the Batista fight, they're actually saying if Batista beats Umar, he's undoubtedly the next for the title shot. People forget, though. And now people are going to act like Batista sucks. I get it. But they're putting Umar in the prelims. So if Umar, or when Umar beats Figgy, they're going to say, well, you're not next for the title. Sugar just beat this guy on the main card, Song Yadong. Well, I know what the UFC is doing, so I understand it. So I'm not going to be too upset about it. Of course, people with common sense, or people who have an understanding of what people deserve and what they don't, are going to be a little bit upset about this, because I think people rather see Umar fight Jan than Sugar Jan rematch, when Sugar had a title fight his last 3 fights, pretty much. It's just crazy how much title shots Sugar's going to have in the span of 2 years. That might be a record. Someone check that. Like a non-champion getting this much title shots. Crazy. But Umar versus Figgy. 19-1 Umar. Merab took our fucking record, eh? Our perfect record. Oh, we would have beat Merab, whatever. We already did beat him 1, 2, and 3. Umar and Figgy. Figgy is coming off a win against Montel Jackson, guys, but looking back at that fight, it was actually hilarious because Montel's so shit on the feet, but he was having moments on Figgy. If Figgy couldn't take him down and hold him there for 2 rounds, he would have lost. It was a split decision. It was still close, but the fact that he needed to take down Montel because he couldn't just keep up with him on the feet was crazy, because Umar's a 10 times better striker than Montel. Montel only has a 1-2. Umar has a 1-2 as well. It's more speedy. It's more in and out, more karate stance based, and he has the question mark kicks, and he has the spin kicks and the low kicks. Umar's a way better striker. So when Figgy's getting outstruck, I don't know if he thinks this is Montel Jackson, so he's going to, I'm getting outstruck, let me shoot a takedown. Brother, come shoot. We're dictating what the fight goes. I'll be impressed if Figgy goes the distance, but I can't see Figgy going the distance. He's pretty tough. The Corey fight, I don't think, Corey just had him in a bad spot, and it ended up being a freak accident injury. But he looked so bad against Corey, who was a game bantamweight. Umar's a game bantamweight. Umar's going to beat Figgy and should be next for the title shot after this, This is actually my most hyped fight of the card. This is definitely my lock of the card. Like, I know Umar's going to win. It's a matter of how Umar wins. Maybe people are going to be like, but dude, Figgy got power. Didn't Batista drop Umar? You know, you guys know. But it's interesting because it's like I know what's going to happen in this fight. You know, I know Nurmagomedov's going to get it done. I know Nurmagomedov's going to show him levels. And I know Nurmagomedov's the best bantamweight on the planet Earth right now. I know these. These are things I know for sure. Umar's my favorite fighter in the UFC. This is including Adesanya and Islam and all. I'm really fond of Umar. I think I understand how good Umar is more than a lot of people. So I really get behind Umar in fights like this. And I know he's going to go in there and beat the guy who only lost 5 times in the UFC. You know, Umar's going to go in there and beat the former champion in flyweight, arguably one of the flyweight GOATs. You know, and he should be next for the title shot. I don't know who they're going to give Umar after this, because I know they're not going to want to give him a title shot. But we haven't seen Umar versus Jan. That's the most high-skilled fight you could ever make in bantamweight. That's the most high-skilled fight you can make in the world right now. And I want to see it as soon as possible. But I know Umar's going to win. He's probably going to get it done by points, because Umar, like, he takes his time. But I think a knockout might present himself. Like, he might hurt Figgy on the feet and then follow up on the ground and pound, you know, and Figgy might just get done up. So I think Umar gets it done. He's just an intelligent striker. He picks his shots well. He either gets it done by finish, by knockout, I think, or points. I don't think he's going to submit him. He could, but I just don't think it's going to be the case. So give me Umar by KO or points. Just a height difference. Yo, Figgy's 5'5". He's just a flyweight. Let's be real. He's a flyweight who couldn't cut to that 125 limit because he has too much muscle mass on him. So now he's at bantamweight. It is what it is. You're 5'5". You're not beating us. We're 5'8". We have we have lengthiness. We have good strikes, good kicks, and we're handsome. We get this done. Beats on him, Dr. Dre. Yeah, Umar for the win. Moving on to the main card. No, even this fight shouldn't be ahead of it. Yeah, I said it. This is a pretty badass fight, though. Arnold Allen versus Gene Silva. I haven't seen Arnold Allen since 2024, I believe. I just haven't seen Arnold Allen fight for a long time. He did get a win his last fight, but I haven't seen him fight for such a long time. I think it was against Giga or something. It was against Giga, I believe. It was against Giga, and that fight, like, I think he had a slower first round. He actually looked pretty good as the fight went along. It looked like Giga was fading pretty bad, and Arnold was putting on him. And then Gene Silva riding his first loss after a lot of time, and it was against Diego Lopez, who I did say was going to school Gene Silva. I will say Gene Silva looked a lot better than I thought in that fight. I'll say that. I feel like I thought Lopez was going to just do him better. Like, I thought Lopez was going to do better in the pocket, but, like, when they were training in the pocket, Gene Silva just was way better than him, picking the shots better. Arnold Allen's actually game. Arnold Allen could actually go in there and try to break Gene Silva, you know, and I actually know that, like, he might be like a plus 300 underdog. That might be a sneaky one, guys, because Allen has been in there with some monsters who couldn't put him away, like Max and some of these other good guys, man. And I could see him getting to Silva maybe in this third round if Silva's breaking. Dude, it's weird because when people were asking me about this all week, I kind of been like, oh, Gene's going to get it done. But now, like, when I'm looking at his angry mug right now, his angry ass face, I'm like, wait, Allen's game. It's just he's been gone too long. You know, like, even if Gene Silva's coming off a loss, he fought last year at least, you know. This dude has not fought in years, man. I think Gene Silva should beat him, though. I think Gene Silva just looked pretty, even his last defeat, like, he looked the worst in the grappling situations. Allen's not known for his grappling. Allen just wants to sit there and trade. But I feel like sitting there and trading with Gene Silva, it shouldn't be a thing he wants to do. I think Gene Silva gets it done. Give me Gene Silva by KO or points. I think Gene Silva by KO might be a sneaky one, because he actually might get Allen out of there, because Allen's, like, he's too willing to sit in the pocket and trade. And he's not the most accurate. He's just like a fucking juggernaut. But, like, he could run into something big with Gene Silva. So he's got to be careful. Gene Silva hits like a truck. You know, even I remember Diego Lopez getting caught, and, like, it would pause Lopez in his tracks sometimes. Yeah, I'm going to go Gene Silva. I think he gets it done. But I do think Allen's a sneaky underdog pick. But I just don't have enough confidence given his lack of activity. If he was more active and he fought, like, once or twice, like, even once last year, I'd probably even lean him here. But he hasn't fought in too long for me to think he's going to beat Gene Silva. So give me Gene Silva. I think he gets it done over Allen. Allen's just not as active as he needs to be able to beat Gene Silva. Moving on. Yeah, this fight, I'm glad Umar and fucking Figgy. I'm glad a former flyweight champion who's arguably one of the flyweight GOATs, and Umar, who has one loss in the UFC and is Marab the champion when he was a champion at the time, is not ahead of this fight, because this fight's a fucking, oh my goodness, oh my god, Natalie Silva, dude, what we're talking about, dude, versus Rose Namajunas. First of all, Rose has never even went the distance. She's a fucking finisher. Fuck, dude, this fight's so great. This fight should be over Umar and Figgy all day, every day. Oh my god, this fight's so fucking hell. What is the world we're living in, eh? This is ahead of shit, man. Um, Here's the thing, guys. Sound like Strickland there. Here's the thing, guys. Honestly, this is weird because Namajunas is actually pretty solid, but she's been looking weird. Even though like Namajunas, I've been picking her confidently, but when I watch her fight, I'm like, that looked a lot harder than I just anticipated, eh? And then Natalie Silva, like sometimes I think she's gonna get fraud checked, and then she like fights very effectively with her kind of corny style or little push kick style, but it works. I think Natalie Silva is actually going to beat Namajunas. Like, I really believe that. I just think her style is very frustrating to deal with, and it works well for some reason. I think she's going to go in there. She's going to beat Namajunas. I can see Namajunas going for takedowns but failing and end up, like, holding her against the fence and then, like, not taking her down. Because Silva's takedown defense actually is pretty good despite her being kind of shorter and smaller. She's 5'4", but Namajunas is only 5'5". It's not that much of a difference. They have the same reach. So, I don't know, man. I think Natalie Silva keeps it on the feet and just strikes Namajunas, who's a really good striker, but that kicking style definitely negates like a boxing style. Like those push kicks, it makes it hard to get into punching distance to start trading when she's just push kicking you the whole time. So I think Natalie Silva gets it done by points because it's a woman's fight. So give me Silva by points. Namajunas is she's not even bad. It's not like she's losing, but I'm starting to see that she's slowing down. So I'm gonna take Silva over Namajunas by points. Moving on. Cortes Acosta versus Derek Lewis. This fight's cool. I don't think this fight's particularly close, but it's cool because Derek Lewis always has puncher's chance. But I think Cortes Acosta is just way better. Like I can't lie, Cortes Acosta is way better. Like against his last fight against Shamil, the real deal Blobby Gaethje, he just showed that like you're a power puncher, yes. You're like you have good hands, yes. But I'm just way better than you, and I'm gonna counter you because like his counter reactivity is crazy in that fight. Like he'll wait till Shamil throws and just he'll be out of there, and boom, boom, he's back in there. Derek Lewis is not the most technical. He knows how to scrap, but he just can't beat Cortes Acosta. Cortes Acosta moves well, even when he's against the fence, and it looks like you could just find some shot on Cortes Acosta. He knows how to get out the way and land bigger or land harder. I see Lewis getting finished, so give me Cortes Acosta by KO. By KO. I don't think this is that close of a fight. I just think Cortes Acosta is a lot better than Derek Lewis. I know some people think this like Derek Lewis has a chance to win. I think Cortes Acosta is a lock, dude. And I know it's hard to say a lock in a heavyweight weight class when you're going against Lewis, but I just think Cortes Acosta is a lot better. I think he's going to find the time. He's probably going to sleep Lewis pretty badly. So give me Cortes Acosta. It's not that hard of a fight to pick for me. He's just a lot better. This fight is pretty cool. I'm actually interested in this fight. I'm like slowly becoming a Sugar fan. He's just funny as hell, dude. Like I see his skits and like his reactions. He does that cowabunga shit that I be doing, and I think it's hilarious, dude. Like fuck your dad. You know, like he's funny as shit. Like he's funny as hell to me. Like he's growing on me, man. And I'm very fond of him. And Song Yadong's my boy. You guys know, like, I have to tap into my age. You guys know my Asian heritage side. You know, I respect my Asian brothers and sisters. Song Yadong's one of them. Here's the thing. Sugar Sean's finally going to get a striking match that he's been wanting. Song Yadong, guys, I hate to say it, but, like, Cejudo was low-key, like, landing on this guy pretty easily. Like, I thought Cejudo was arguably actually winning that fight beforehand. And all Cejudo was doing was throwing a straight punch. Like, a straight. And then a straight. And then a straight. And, like, he was landing on Yadong, like, with ease. Yadong, like, doesn't really have great head movement. He kind of tries to tank shots and come back with his bigger power shots, but Sugar's a little bit too long. His range management and distance management is a lot better. His reach advantage is pretty significant. He's going to have, like, over a 5-inch reach advantage, I believe. He's 5'11". Yadong's 5'8". He's like, like, how elusive he is. His timing, his unpredictable shots. Sugar's actually really good to me. I just think he been having a lot of wrestling, grappling matchups, and now he's finally going to get a striking matchup, and I think he's going to shine against Yadong. He actually did pretty good against Peter Yan, guys. Like, I think Yan beat him, but it doesn't change the fact that Sugar did good in that fight. He took some hard blows from Yan in that fight, showed good recovery, showed good everything, and I think Yan even has some offensive wrestling that Yadong doesn't have you know, but I just think Sugar's been in there with harder opponents, man. I think Sugar's going to put a beating on Yadong. I think Sugar by KO points. I think he KO Yadong. Sugar kind of reminds me of a better version of Peyton Talbot. Peyton Talbot's pretty similar, like they flow well, but like Talbot doesn't move his head. I think Sugar has better head movement. Sugar's a better defensively sound striker. I think Sugar's one of the best strikers in the weight class and I think it shows the best when he's going against other good strikers. You know, I think Sugar Sean O'Malley's going to beat the brakes out of my boy Song Yadong. I respect Song. He's my guy, but I don't think he's going to beat my dog, Sugar Sean O'Malley. So give me the Cowabunga Warrior, dude. Give me fucking Sugar. Yeah, dude. Fucking rock on, dude. We're hitting with the Nelk boys tonight. After that, we're hitting fucking Miami Beach, and we're fucking chugging it, dude. Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. Number 3. Let's go. He's probably going to get a title shot off of this either as well. So, Shibale. Which brings me to the main event of the evening. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. This is an interesting one, because, like, it's another 40-year-old for Paddy. Like, yes, the Tony Ferguson, Bobby Green, Michael Chandler, like all 40-year-olds on losing streaks. This 40-year-old's coming off some wins, though. He's coming off a win. He doesn't have a losing streak. So it's a different type of 40-year-old. So I think it's interesting in that aspect, While Justin Gaethje should beat Paddy. Like, I think Justin should beat Paddy, but Justin Gaethje's body looks like it's falling apart. From what I'm seeing about Gaethje in general, like, these things I'm seeing, I'm like, dude, he doesn't seem that healthy. Like, I'm seeing reports of him, it's an ingrown hair. Nigga, that's not an ingrown hair. Like, he's just lying to the people, act like we're blind or something. I'm, like, confused on why his body looks so bad. Then, like, what Trevor Whitman's saying, things like they're going 70%. They can't have full mode practices anymore. To a certain extent, we have to cut those days down because we feel like we're overworking him and stuff like that. I hear stuff like that. I'm like, his body's giving up on him. But he should be Paddy. Like, I just think stylistically, Paddy's so heavy on that front leg. Paddy's chin's so high in the air, and Gaethje knows how to find high chins. Like, the time with Dustin had his chin high, even when he blocked the head kick, he got slept. And no one does that to Dustin Poirier. Like, Dustin Poirier would kill Paddy in there. The 40-year-old Dustin that fought Max and almost finished Max in that, whatever round that was, he would finish Paddy. Justin Gaethje was in there in Fiziev. Fiziev would beat the dog shit out of Paddy. These are people who beat the dog shit out of Paddy. And I know people bring up the Fiziev situation. He's getting out-grappled by Fiziev. That was a weird-ass scramble, and he just ends up on the bottom. People are overrating Paddy Pimblett's offensive wrestling, in my opinion. I think people think Paddy Pimblett can offensively wrestle. He can't. And I think you guys think Justin Gaethje can't defensively wrestle. He can. He's one of the best scramblers in the UFC. But look, he always gets submitted, Kenny. Okay, he got submitted by Charles Oliveira and Khabib Nurmagomedov. Like, here's my thing when people say Justin Gaethje always gets submitted. I'm like, who submits him? He must be getting submitted by bums. Yeah, like, fucking, bro, how you get submitted by just fucking Charles Oliveira and Khabib Nurmagomedov? I mean, I don't know. Who doesn't get submitted by them? So, like, I hear things like that, and I'm like, you guys must think, like, Paddy's on the same grappling level of Khabib and Charles. Like, he's not. I don't think he is. Maybe you think so. I don't, and I don't have to. Like, why do I have... but Kenny, he submitted Bobby Green. No one does that. Dude, he fucking took... Bobby Green shot the takedown with like an idiot and got submitted. Justin Gaethje with a good game plan should win. Even against Khabib, he was making it hard for Khabib to take him down. Even against Charles, to extents, he was making it hard for him to get down. Just those sloppy moments. And Charles just fights a lot different. He's a lot more of like a anchor on the offensive pressure. And he kind of stays in your face and makes you make mistakes. Paddy Pimblett's a little bit too like, my chin's in the air, I'm a scouser. My chin's in the air, I'm a scouser. Fuck yeah, hey, let's go. Fuck, dude, like, his chin's in the air. He would get head kicked to an oblivion. Like, dude, I just can't. Like, I don't care. I can't and I won't. I can't and I won't. I don't want to pick Paddy in this fight. Like, okay, I get it. He should win. It's another 40-year-old. But the only time I've seen Paddy in, like, a situation where he was in there with someone who's a dog and wants to fight was Jared Gordon. I think Jared Gordon beat him, man. I think Jared Gordon with that dog mentality beat him because Jared Gordon just didn't respect him as, oh, you're some kind of crazy prospect. You're a shit can, dude. I get it. He put it on Chandler, guys. He did put it on Chandler, and he put it on Tony Ferguson, and he got the win over Bobby Green. And those guys just aren't Justin Gaethje. Those guys just aren't, in my opinion. Like, Michael Chandler obviously isn't Justin Gaethje because he can't beat him. And I get Paddy's doing it in impressive fashion, but those are those guys' most recent fights. Like, they're dead at that point. Like, they're out the UFC, all those guys. They're mentally checked out. Michael Chandler literally fought for 2 minutes, just slamming Paddy on his head a bunch of times, using a bunch of energy, and then just fatigued completely. So you saw Paddy take him down. Oh, my God, he's whooping him there. No, Michael Chandler's just a fucking dead weight at that point. He's too tired to do anything. So now, of course, you're going to get slammed and picked up, I just don't buy it, man. I don't buy the hype. I really think in this one it's going to be Justin Gaethje fraud checking Paddy Pimblett. So I'm going to go the underdog here. I'm going to go Justin Gaethje. It's not like a Mystic Kenny lock, but I do think Justin Gaethje, if he shows up with the correct game plan, should go in there and beat up Paddy Pimblett, man. So let's go Gaethje, ruin the plans of the UFC, make sure we never see Ilya versus Paddy, and get it done. I think Gaethje would get it done. I really believe stylistically he should smoke Paddy. The only thing he could ever, the only way he could ever lose if he's mentally checked out. you know. So congrats to Justin Gaethje for being another interim champ again, because he's already was an interim champ before. Paddy would never see gold wrapped around that waist. Paddy would never see gold wrapped around that waist, because I said so. He won't see it. Justin Gaethje will fraud check him, and I'll be over here like this. Told you guys so. Yes, he's 40 years old, but he's not the same average 40-year-old in the UFC that Paddy can beat. Trust me when I say that. Those are my full predictions. Now I'm going to give you guys a lock. Maybe like a 3-leg guaranteed lock. Okay. I'm seeing a couple locks here, but I want to pick it correctly. And I want you guys to profit some. Okay. Lock number 1. We'll go Sugar Sean O'Malley, Cortes Acosta. And last one, I would say Umar, but Umar, you get no money from picking Umar. Okay, a guaranteed 2-legger, dude. I might just do like Sugar and Wildouts Cortes Acosta for about 700. But if I was gonna add a 3rd guaranteed leg, honestly, maybe Josh Hokit. He's pretty good, man. He's pretty good. Those are like that's the most profitable one, you know. And if I was gonna do a longer parlay, or a different one, maybe I'll go like Umar. I could add Umar to that mix, Gautier to that mix, but they're just not profitable. If I'm you guys, I'm going Umar, Cortes Acosta, O'Malley for a guaranteed 3-legger, and then throw whoever I just said in the beginning. I forgot what I said, but just go them. Those are the only guaranteed locks. Like, I know it's gonna win, so everything I said I was guaranteed, just follow that and you'll be gooch. But let me know what you guys think about the picks down below. That's it for me. God bless. 2, 3.